Hello and thanks for joining us. To our viewers here in Korea and around the world, it's 9 a.m. on Friday, April 25th here in Seoul. I'm Mark Broom and you're tuned in to our ongoing coverage of the Sewol-ho ferry disaster. Latest search operations for the sunken ferry have been focused on its third and fourth deck cabins, where most of the missing victims are believed to be trapped. Working during the last remaining critical hours of favourable weather conditions Thursday evening, Coast Guard, Navy and civilian rescue workers and divers recovered more than 20 bodies overnight. As for the current death toll, 181 people have now been confirmed dead. 121 others remain unaccounted for. Divers also say there were no air pockets inside the sunken ferry, reducing the chances of possible survivors after the ship submerged completely underwater. But the search will continue as parents of the missing have requested the ferry not be lifted out of the water until everyone is recovered. Authorities are broadening their investigation into what exactly happened on the day the Sewol-ho ferry capsized and who is responsible for this disaster. So far, it looks like all 15 crew members, including the captain Ijun Sok, that escaped the ferry will face criminal charges. 11 have already been charged with negligent homicide while violating maritime law, with the remaining 4 under investigation as suspects. Comments made by some of the crew members are causing quite a stir as well. One testified that crew members, including himself, were in a room less than 10 meters away from where the passenger cabins were, right before they fled the ship, which clearly suggests they did not follow the standard protocol to help passengers escape. Tens of thousands of citizens from all walks of life have been visiting a temporary group memorial altar that has been set up in Ansan, the city most touched by this disaster. More than 30,000 people from all over the nation have passed through the doors of the Ansan Olympic Memorial Hall to say their last goodbyes to the young students and teachers from Danwon High School who so tragically lost their lives in the sinking. The local government has also set up a message service so that those who cannot come in person can send text messages of condolence, which are being displayed on one of the screens there at the Memorial Hall. Another Memorial Hall will open at 11 a.m. Korea time in Mokpo, near the city's main train station. Now, it's not just those of us here in Korea, but people around the world have reached out to Korea in its time of need. Korean Americans have set up memorial altars throughout the United States expressing support for the victims and their families. Kim Hyun-bin reports.
Overseas Koreans in Los Angeles set up a memorial altar in front of the Korean consulate, and it's been adorned with messages of hope and flowers.
It is heartbreaking for the children. I've been keeping them in my prayers since the incident.
Memorial altars have been set up across the world by Koreans living overseas. Those visiting a temporary altar in Washington, D.C. said they were at a loss for words about the tragedy and plan on holding a fundraiser for the victims' families.
It's not just in Korea, but people in the U.S. as well are also crying for the lost ones.
In Times Square in New York, more than 200 Koreans and foreigners attended a memorial ceremony to show support for Korea and all those here who are suffering from the devastating tragedy. Kim Hyun-bin, ARIRANG News.
And those are the updates we have for you at this hour. We'll be back again at 10 a.m. Korea time. That's in about 1 hour's time. Until then, goodbye.